What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I totally want to do this outside, but the wind is absolutely crazy. It's blowing the hair like crazy. But I just wanted you guys to see some of the beautiful Austin we have out here. Questions I've been getting a ton this past week is Ericka, I'm getting all this bad energy and vibes from my family, from my friends. I'm having all this success and I want to share it with them, but I can't, or they're energy vampires, right? So I don't know if you guys know what energy vampires are, but essentially, whenever you guys hear me, put a one in the comments if you can hear me. Drop your city's name, that'd be helpful. Energy vampires are when you tell somebody something, but you have to spend so much of your mental energy trying to explain it to them that it brings you down, or they just ask the most craziest questions. That's right, new levels, new devils, right? And so what I've been telling people is you have to really yeah, it's pretty windy out here. I'm getting ready to get back in the car, but I've been outside for pretty much all day. It's been crazy. Can you hear me or no? It's a beautiful day though. Hold on. Y'all can hear me just fine. Y'all don't want me to enjoy that sunshine. All right, let me see what we got here. Uh-oh, let me get the angle better. All right. This is going to be bad. Let me see. Clear that up a little. Oh, now I made it worse. Hold on a second. I'm going to wipe the mirror off. That should be a little bit better. Maybe. All right. So, anyway, long and the story short is, what happens is, I talked about it earlier on Instagram, is the wavelength. We're all kind of riding a wave, whether people believe that or not. That's why you have good times or bad times. When people talk about the recession, they start worrying about bad times, because if they were an average person with an average job, their lifestyle is probably going to go down. And what you have to learn is you don't have to be average. And the reason I believe a lot of people are so depressed and upset and at their peak today, I was parking and somebody barked, honked their horn at me. And I was like, all right, now, you don't want this pew 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 in this purse. But what I realized is that person's stressed. I don't even know why they're stressed. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a lot of, it's just the weather's amazing. And what ends up happening is you realize is people are so stressed and depressed, they're not living up to their fullest potential. And they know it. The reason why we call it the bigotry of low expectations is when someone thinks very low of you, like you're not very smart, or you got a lot of kids out of wedlock, these stereotypes they put on people. What happens is you're angry because that's racist. 1, 2, you're angry because it's low expectations. And what a person is saying to you, I don't think very highly of you, right? So when someone comes and talks to you, oh, well, Ericka, oh, I'm so surprised. And it's like, you shouldn't be surprised. Have higher expectations of the people around you. But what I realize is there's a book by Ericka called The Curse of the High IQ. Now, this isn't always like, oh, Ericka, here you go with that high IQ thing. It's just in conversations. People rather not rock the boat. They rather ride the wave. And so today I was sitting, before I came out here and I walked, I was reading this book, Raising Private Capital, Using Other People's Money by Matt Fairclough. Okay. And then I was also reading Real Estate and Chill, because I told her I was going to give a review on the book. And so I'm sitting at a coffee shop reading, and I'm talking, I'm just drinking my coffee. And someone's like, oh man, real estate, man, this city's full of real estate agents. And I go, I'm not a real estate agent. Oh, and I'm like, real estate investor. Oh, what do you invest in? I'm like, apartment soon, this, that, and what I realized is that person's expectations were so low. They were so low that when I was saying these things, it was kind of blowing their mind because they had low expectations of me. Maybe because I was black, maybe because I'm a woman. That's not my problem. That's their problem. So what you have to do is you have to realize when you go out in this world, you're kind of fighting a wave. You're fighting a wave of low expectations of what people are dealing with. So when you start talking about new and creative things, sometimes people really get upset because it's almost like you're saying, I'm trying to be careful here. It's almost like when you start talking about new ideals, like let's say you go this weekend on Sunday, I have Tommy Holt coming on the show. We're doing a live on Sunday before Game of Thrones, and he's going to talk about real estate and wholesaling in Atlanta, Georgia, which, Atlanta is very popular for being, it's almost like Dallas. $30,000 millionaires. Everybody's driving a BMW, but nobody ain't got no money, right? And I'm bringing him on the show on Sunday. And what I thought was important about him coming on the show Sunday is so many people, they want the results. They want the wins. They want to look good. They want to drive nice cars, but they don't want to do what it takes. And what it takes is actually changing your environment. So Tommy has a whole group. He has an online group and they do live calls every, I think Wednesday, Saturday. And the reason I'm bringing them on is I thought that was so powerful, because what happens is you get a new idea from Tommy, or you get a new idea from Kendra, or you get a new idea from Charm City, and you go tell your family. First thing they're going to say is, well, why you want to do that? Or isn't that risky? Isn't that dangerous? All these negative questions. You guys can put the comments in here. What are some of the things your family say to you about something being risky or dangerous? Because I hear it all the time. I get a lot of messages from you guys saying, Ericka, what do I say in response? You really don't have to say anything in response. What you need to do is spend more time with like-minded people. Whether that's in online groups, whether that's in Facebook groups, whether that's in meetups or conferences. Everybody I've met at these conferences have been high vibration people, right? The people that are low vibration people, they're struggling at the conference. They like, oh, I don't know. I got to figure out, I got to decide. I got to figure out, which course to take. I just don't know anymore. And what you got to understand is, when I was talking to some people at the conference, I'm like, you're here at the conference. You're here. Now that you're here, you have to be committed. You can't be waffling at the conference. You done pay your money, right? This is something I say to people a lot. I'm like, you done paid your money to be here, to be a part of the conference, and yet you're trying to not commit while you're even here, right? So this is a big problem in everyone's community. A lot of people do not commit. They just do not commit to whatever it is they're doing. And so that's a big problem in a lot of communities. Another thing is, when it came to these trucks, even people who had one or two trucks are like, Ericka, is this risky? Is this dangerous? You're going so fast. Is this risky? Is this dangerous? And then I got another truck. Then I got another truck. And I go, well, all my drivers are driving. I just closed the last two groups. What's risky? And what's risky is their level of thinking. They haven't thought that far out. Their vision doesn't match yours. And so I just want to encourage a lot of you, because a lot of you will say, Ericka, I watch your videos and then I tell my family and they basically poo-poo on the ideals. Or Ericka, I watch your thing and then I talk to my family and they're like, well, even the comments you guys saying about Lynn Club, oh, people ain't gonna pay back. Oh, something's gonna happen. That's fear. That's extreme fear. Like right now, there's a recall on baby products, right? And I have several friends who just had babies, right? So the little rocker that got recalled, our friends that have it, they're like, oh, it's fine. We always keep the baby buckled in, because what was the recall for? People putting the baby in there, not buckling the baby, so then the baby turns over and unfortunately, suffocates or something goes wrong. So first of all, what did you hear there? People put the baby in, didn't follow instructions, didn't buckle the baby in. So I have a friend, she has twins. And so one of my friends is like, oh man, you got to get rid of it. You got to get rid of it. It could kill the baby. And you look at her and you go, why are you so full of fear? We watch our children. Every time we put them in there, we buckle them. The only people who have suffered in this is people who do what? Don't buckle their baby, walk away, don't check on their baby. People let their baby sleep in this thing when clearly the thing says for short-term sleep. And that means like an hour max. That means for like a quick baby nap. It don't mean all night. It don't mean 3-4 hours. It don't mean leave your baby in there and come back 4 hours later. But just in that moment, and this friend, of course, doesn't have a kid, but this friend was so full of fear. As she was talking, my other friend was like, well, we can't live in fear all day. You buckle the baby in, you follow the instructions, and you check back on your child. This is the same thing I want you guys to apply in your life. I know that was a long kind of example, but you guys have to, if you put $25 in Lending Club, you can't be checking it every Tuesday like, oh, okay, it's still there. Oh my God, are they paying, right? If you put, $2 over here, or you loan a friend some money and they pay you back on the next payday, you can't be sitting there like, oh, they're going to pay me my $40 back on their next payday. To me, that's crazy. That's insane. That's truly insane. And really, people who think like that, you're in a very deep scarcity mindset. And you need to work on the mindset first. Your mindset is toxic. And so here's the thing. Aben, you're not going to get notified. Right now, YouTube is being very picky about who it wants to notify, when it wants to notify people, if it wants to notify people. So only thing you can do is hit the notification bell. It's only been 10 minutes. You didn't miss a ton. But YouTube, it's their platform. They can do what they can choose to do whatever they want, right? So, but what I want you guys to understand is the reason I promote the Facebook group, everybody in there is pushing. They're pushing to go buy something. They're pushing to go do something. They're pushing to go invest. And that's the kind of energy you want in your life. You do not want the funky energy. You do not want people who sit around like, I just don't know. I just don't know. That energy is rotten and it does nothing for you. It does not help your life. It will not help you get to a better space in life. So it's a big thing. Now, why am I talking about that? Because honestly, it's 80-20. Any book you ever read, it talk about 80-20 a lot. The real thing about 80-20 is 80% of people will do very average things, live very average lives, and have, be fine with it. Now, here's my problem. I think now that we have Instagram and YouTube, you have some people who know they could be doing better, but haven't exactly figured out a way to do better. So they're watching Instagram hating, they're watching YouTube hating. And I think a lot of the hate and anger you get here on YouTube and Instagram is from people who, one, are angry with themselves, right? They're angry with themselves. Now, let me give you an example. When you were younger, didn't your parents tell you don't hang out with that particular kid, don't hang out with that kid, don't hang out with that group of people, don't hang out with those people? And there's a reason they said it. Because what ends up happening is you're following a path. You're following a wavelength. So if those kids, all they want to do is hang out and smoke weed, that's what you're going to do. If all those kids want to do, you know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times the trajectory of that kid's life, your parents who have a little bit more wisdom than you, they've seen a few more people than you, they can look and see like, you might not want to hang out with that kid because their habits will become your habits. So when I talk to you guys about reading, about having audible books, yes, you become the 5 people you spend the most time with. And what I end up doing is I end up pulling myself out of certain friend groups and completely got totally obsessed with the conferences, with business owners, going on vacations only with business owners, going on vacations only with people. When we get there, we talk about business or building our businesses. And my business has tripled. I've hired 5 people. You know what I mean? The switch has switched to even a next level. And so what I see here and tell people, like, people say, hey man, can you make the YouTube course you're going to make and the YouTube book, 6-figure YouTube book? And I said, I'm still growing in my, system. But what I was trying to explain to them, I was like, when I put these things together, I can tell you every new level is a new you, new employees, new things you have to do. I was telling somebody I was spending like $300 a month on a PR firm or whatever. And they were shocked. They were like, oh man, I don't know if I could spend that much money on a PR firm every month. I was like, well, how else are you going to get featured in magazines and newspaper articles and all this other stuff? Well, I'm going to do this. No, stop. A lot of times people want to fight what's the next level. And you cannot fight what's the next level. You have to kind of go in the steps to make that make sense for you, right? Another thing that people are really struggling with is time frames. A lot of times people will not put a time frame on something. Well, Eric, I'm going to buy a house next year. Eric, I'm going to do this next year. I'm going to do this other thing next year. And almost next year, it means tomorrow. Just being honest. Almost like next year means, oh, tomorrow I'm going to do this thing, or in the future I'm going to do this thing. It's not definitive and it's not enough time on it. This guy's trying to park. That's, dude. Nah, bro. You don't have no space. These people in this parallel parking is like the worst. They're trying so hard to do parallel parking where they really can't fit. It's crazy. If he hits my car, y'all.